Amrit Vela, the importance of Amrit Vela, how to do Vela. Baba says Amrit Vela is the time where you can increase your earnings. It's a time to earn. It's a time to make your fortune. It's a time to be with Baba, and it's a time to fill up ourselves with virtues and powers. Baba says, at Amrit Vela, you have to lock up all the other thoughts of external things and just be in his remembrance. So we have to check ourselves, because at Amrit Vela, we Baba's children, just sitting in front of Baba is not enough. But I have to check my thoughts, whether I am in remembrance of God, or my mind is wandering horizontally. Baba says in Amrit Vela, you have to have just one single thought of Baba. You have to sit in his remembrance only. So I have to check when I sit for Amrit Vela, what do I think? Whether I am in his remembrance, or I remember some other person or some place or something or some situation. Other thing, at Amrit Vela, when we sit in Baba's remembrance, we also have to check ourselves that what are we doing, whether we are having a sweet conversation with Baba, because sometimes Baba's children, they sit at Amrit, they sit in front of Baba, but they start complaining about the one or the other things. So Baba today explains us, teaches us, and he says that you should have sweet conversation, heart-to-heart conversation with Baba. Other thing today, Baba also says that morning time is the best time. Morning time is a very nice time when we sit in remembrance of Baba. Baba says, why don't you write down the praise of God? Like Baba is the ocean of knowledge. Baba is the ocean of peace. Baba is a purifier. Baba is almighty. So in time, we should write down the praise of the Supreme. Third thing, in the Murli today, Baba says that you have to have attention on your words. Check yourself the whole day. The words which we speak, are they meaningful or they are valueless? Our words, whatever we speak, should be meaningful. They should be valuable. They should have some meaning. So we have to keep a full attention the whole day on our words. They should not be any waste words. We should always speak meaningful things and valuable things. No waste talks. Other thing, today Baba also says in the Murli, Baba is talking about two paths. One, the path of devotion, and the other, the path of knowledge. Baba is clearly explaining the difference, what happens and what is being done when you are on the path of devotion, and what you do when you are on the path of knowledge. Baba says, when you are on the path of devotion, there were so many difficulties. You were to follow so many customs, rituals, and so many things you have to do. And there was a lot of difficulty. And what did you benefit? Nothing was benefited. You did not benefit anything. But Baba says, now you have to be on the path of knowledge. Baba says, when you walk on the path of knowledge, He frees us from all the difficulties. Nothing is to be done. Even uttering of Shiva Shiva from the mouth is against the rules. So check ourselves. Sometimes there are few Baba's children who are Baba's children, but still, simultaneously, they are walking on both the paths, the path of devotion as well as path of knowledge. We have very well experienced after walking on the path of devotion for such a long time, for around 2 ages, Dwapar Yuga and the Confluence age, what did we benefit? Nothing. Gradually, we went on degrading. So Baba now says that you have to walk on the path of knowledge. Other thing today, Baba is talking at the Murli. Baba says that you have to be in Baba's remembrance. Baba says that I promise you, if you remember me, then all your sins will be burnt away. And this we have to do it before returning to our house, that is Param Dham. So check yourself. What what am I doing? Am I in remembrance of God most of the time in my day-to-day activities? It's not like just sitting in front of Baba and remembering him, but Baba tells us to be a karma yogi. That is, even when you are performing the actions, you have to be in his remembrance, because we have accumulated lot of sins and you have to burn all these sins before returning the home. Baba promises us that if you be in his remembrance, all the sins will be burnt away and you will become pure souls. Next thing, what Baba says in today's Murli is, Baba says, yours is a student life. Baba generally tells in the Murli, student life is the best life. Today, Baba is saying that yours is a student life. So you have to fix up the time in the day and write down, note down what causes or what pains you have given to others, what wrong actions you have performed. You have to be very honest with Baba and give him proper chart. So Baba says, this is a real student life. Check yourself whether I am honest with Baba, whether I am giving my report on daily basis to Baba. Next thing, what Baba says in today's Murli is, Baba says, before creation of any thoughts, or before uttering any words, or before performing any actions, you have to be sensible and you have to be an embodiment of knowledge. This is clearly seen on the path of devotion, where they all copy what we are doing in the confluence age. They generally, on the path of devotion, we see that before performing any actions, generally they draw a swastika, which symbolizes stabilizing your mind in your original identity. And they salute Ganesha also. Saluting Ganesha is nothing but symbolizing an embodiment of knowledge. So Baba says that what you do in this confluence age, all the things are being followed when Dwapar Yuga started, and then his devotees, they do the same thing when they are on the path of devotion. So I have to check before creating any thoughts, or before uttering any words, or before performing any action. I have to be sensible. I have to stabilize myself in my original state, and I have to become an embodiment of knowledge and then perform the actions that will lead success in our life. So listen to the Baba's Murli in Baba's words. The essence of the Murli. Sweet children, lock up all your thoughts at Amrit Vela and just remember the one Father alone with lot of love. Have a sweet heart-to-heart conversation with Father. Question: everything that you children say has to be meaningful. Which children can speak meaningful words? Answer: those who are soul conscious speak words full of significance. The thing that the Father teaches you at the confluence age are full of significance. Whatever people say in a state of body consciousness, it is meaningless. It is all meaningless and has no benefit in it either. So we have to check my words which I speak. If I am in the soul conscious stage, then my words will be automatically be meaningful and will be valuable. But if I am in the stage of body consciousness and I utter the words, whatever words I speak will be meaningless and it will be will not have any value. So Baba is teaching us to be in the soul conscious stage of Shanti. Those songs, etc., belong to the path of devotion. You now have no need of those songs. There is no question of any difficulty here. On the path of devotion, there is a lot of difficulty. There are so many customs and rituals, such as feeding the Brahmin priest, doing this and that, going on pilgrimages, etc. You have to do so much. When you come here, he liberates you from all your difficulties. You do not have to do anything like that. You don't even have to say Shiva Shiv through your lips. That is against the rules here. There is no fruit received by doing that. The Father says, each of you has to understand internally that you are a soul. The Father has said, remember me, remain introverted, and remember the Father alone. The Father promises you that all your sins will then be burnt away. This is the fire of yoga in which all your sins are burnt away so that you can then return home. That is, before returning the home, we have to have all our sins get burned. And the sins can burn only when we be in His remembrance. Baba says history repeats. These are all the ways to talk yourself. Have a spiritual conversation with yourself. The Father says, I give you this method every cycle. You know that the tree grows gradually. It is now when I come to liberate you children from the bondage of Maya that the storms of Maya start. There are no bondages in the golden age. Your intellects know the full meaning of the confluence age. Everything here is meaningful. Whatever body conscious people say, it is meaningless. Whatever soul conscious people say is meaningful, and it will be fruitful too. There are so many difficulties on the path of devotion. People think that to go on pilgrimages, to do this, that, and the other are all paths to reach God. However, you children have now understood that no one can return home yet. 84 births have been shown for Lakshmi and Narayan, who are the number one masters of the world. So, how could anyone else be liberated from that? Everyone comes into the cycle. So, how could Krishna always exist like that? They say, yes, that soul always exists in one form or another, but the name and the form of Krishna has been and gone. The Father has come and explained all of these things to you children. This is a study. Attention has to be paid. Reading a story. Fix a time every day to write up your chart. Businessmen have a lot of bondages. Those who have jobs do not have as many bondages. They just finish their jobs and that's it. Businessmen have to supply their customers whenever they come. Their intellect's yoga wanders outside. Therefore, you must try and make time for remembrance. The early morning is a very good time for that. At that time, you must lock up all your thoughts of external things. Have no other thoughts. Just have remembrance of the Father. Write down the praise of Father. Baba is the ocean of knowledge. Baba is purifier. Baba is making us into the masters of the world. We have to follow his Srimad. The most elevated direction we receive from him is Man Manabhav. No one else can say this. You receive this direction every cycle in order to change from Tamo Pradhan to Sato Pradhan. The Father simply says, constantly remember me alone. This is called the mantra that disciplines the mind. There is happiness in having remembrance with understanding. The Father says, unadulterated remembrance is required. In devotion, the worship of Shiva is at first unadulterated. Then, when they start to worship many others, it becomes adulterated. At first, there was a worship of just the one. You must now listen to the knowledge of only that one, the one whom you children used to worship. He himself says to you, sweetest children, I have come. All the cults of devotion are now ending. You were the ones who first built a temple to Shiv Baba. At that time, you were unadulterated devotees. Therefore, you were very happy. Then, when you become adulterated devotees, you came into the conflict with others and So there was little sorrow. Only the one Father gives happiness to all. The Father says, I come and give this mantra to you, children. Only listen to that once mantra. There is no corporeal being here. You come here to Bap Dada. There is no one higher than Shiv Baba. Everyone remembers him. Bharat used to be heaven. It was the kingdom of Lakshmi and Narayan. Who made them so elevated that you later worship them? No one knows who Mahalakshmi was. What was her previous birth to her becoming Mahalakshmi? You children know that she was Jagadamba, that is, world mother. It is said, salutations to the mothers. This applies to all you mothers. You claim a right to the whole world. Mother Bharat is not said for just one. All of you are Shiv Shaktis who take power from Shiva by having yoga. Maya interferes in your taking power. In a battle, when someone hits you, you have to remain courageous and fight. You shouldn't become trapped by someone who hits you. Your battle is with Maya. There is no battle between the Kauravas and the Pandavas. Kauravas battle among themselves. When people fight, they are even ready to cut one another's throats for just 1 or 2 yards of land. The Father comes and explains that this is predestined in the drama. There is a kingdom of Ram, that is God, and the kingdom of Ravan, that is devil. You children now have the knowledge that you will go to the kingdom of Ram. There is unlimited happiness there. The very name is the land of happiness called Sukhnam. There is no name or trace of sorrow there. The Father has now come to give you children the kingdom. Therefore, you children should make so much of effort. Baba repeatedly tells you, children, don't become weary of this. Continue to remember Shiv Baba. He is a point, and these souls are also points. We have come here to play our parts. Our parts are now ending. The Father now says, remember me, and your sins will be absorbed. Sins accumulate on the souls. The bodies are finished here. Some human beings, they commit sin and then they kill themselves, that is, their bodies. However, their sins are not absorbed by doing that. It is said a sinful soul. Sages and holy men say that souls are immune to the effect of action. They also say that each soul is the supreme soul. There are many different opinions. You are now receiving Shrimat from the one supreme soul. The Father has given each of you a third eye of knowledge. It is you souls who know everything. Previously, you knew nothing about God or how the world cycle turns. Souls are tiny. First of all, you are given the realization of souls. Souls are very subtle. All the visions that people have are the aspects of the path of devotion. Only the Father explains the aspects of the path of knowledge. He comes and sits beside this one in the center of the forehead. That is Brahma Baba. This one also understands quickly. All of these things are new aspects, and the Father sits here and explains them. Make these very firm. Do not forget them. The more you remember the Father, the more your sins will be absolved. Your future depends on your sins being absolved. Together with you, children, the land of Bharat is most fortunate. There is no other land as fortunate as Bharat. It is here that the Father comes. Bharat used to be heaven. It was called the Garden of Allah. You know that the Father is once again making Bharat into the Garden of Flowers. We are studying to go there. We have visions. We understand that this is that same Mahabharat war. After that, there will be no such war. A new world is definitely needed for you children. When it was the new world, Bharat was heaven. It was only 5,000 years ago. It is not a question of hundreds of thousands of years. If it were hundreds of thousands of years, there would be countless human beings. Even this does not penetrate anyone's intellect. Since there isn't such a huge population, how could the cycle be that long? You now understand that we used to rule the world 5,000 years ago. There were no other lands at that time. They came into existence later on. All of these things are in the intellects of you children. They are not in the intellect of anyone else at all. Give them a little signal so that they can understand that there really was another religion in existence before theirs. You can now explain that the one original, eternal deity religion that existed before has now disappeared. No one would claim to belong to the deity religion now. They do not understand that they used to belong to the original, eternal deity religion. Where did that religion go? Where did the Hindu religion come from? No one thinks about these things. You children can explain that the Father is the ocean of knowledge. Only by taking knowledge is there salvation. There is no question of inspiration in this. The Father says, I come every cycle, just as I have come now, so I will come again after a cycle has passed and meet all of you children. You also go around the cycle. You claim your kingdom and then you lose it. This is an unlimited play. All of you are actors. If souls as actors do not know the creator, the director, and the principal actor of what use are they? You children know how you soul adopt bodies to play your parts. You now have to return home. It's now the end of this old world. This is such an easy aspect to understand. You children understand how the Father is sitting here in an incognito form. There is the song wrapped in a quilt. He saw the one who does everything. Whether you say that he saw him or that he recognized him is the same thing. It is possible to see a sword, but there is no benefit in that. No one would understand anything from that. Many people who perform intense devotion receive visions. Previously, you children used to have many visions. You were given many programs for that. You will see all of those entertaining games again at the end. The Father now says, study and become clever. If you do not study now, you will have to look down when the results are out. You will understand that you wasted so much of time. The more you study, the more you stay in remembrance of the Father, the more your sins will be absolved by having that remembrance. The more you remember the Father, the more your mercury of happiness will rise. People do not know why God is remembered. Although they say that He is the mother and father, they do not know the meaning of that. You now understand, and so you can explain the picture of Shiva, how he is the ocean of knowledge and how is a purifier. You have to remember him. You children know that that Father has come to show you the path to a lot of happiness. This is a study. To the extent that you make effort, so you will claim an elevated status. This one isn't a sage or holy man whose seat of Guru has continued from the beginning of time. This is Shiv Baba's Gati. It isn't that someone else will sit on the Gati when this one departs. The Father will take everyone back with him. Some children waste their time by having wasteful thoughts about how they will accumulate a lot of wealth so that their children, their grandchildren can live on that, or that it will be useful later on. They want to accumulate it in their bank locker so that their children can live on it. However, the government won't leave anyone alone. Therefore, instead of thinking a lot about that, you should become busy in earning an income for your future. You children must now make effort. It is not that you will do it if it is in the drama. Unless you make effort, you won't receive anything to eat. However, if it is not in their fortune, then they have such thoughts. If it is not in their fortune, what godly effort would they make? Those who have it in their fortune imbibe all these things very well and also inspire to imbibe them. The Father is your teacher and also your guru. And so you should remember him. The most loved are the father, the teacher, and the guru. They have to be remembered. Baba shows you many methods. You can also invite the sages and the holy men. Acha. To the sweetest, beloved, long lost and now found children, love, remembrance, and good morning from the mother, father, and the Bap Dada. The spiritual father
Dinner
says
says
namaste
namaste
to the
to the
spiritual
spiritual
children.
children, and
Spiritual
spiritual
children,
children says namaste to the
namaste
spiritual
and good
father.
morning, the spiritual father. Essence for the dhani. First, make effort and become busy in earning an income for your future. Do not stop making effort by saying, if it is in the drama, I'll do something. Second point, note down the sins you commit and the sorrows you cause others throughout the day. Tell the Father about them with honesty. Keep your heart honest and clean and settle all your accounts by having remembrance of the one Father. Blessing. May you be sensible and make your every thought and action elevated and successful as an embodiment of knowledge. The explanation of the blessing. Those who think and act while being sensible embodiments of knowledge become images of success. The memorial of this on the path of devotion is that before they begin any auspicious task, they draw a swastika or they salute Ganesha. The swastika is a symbolic of you stabilizing in your original stage, and Ganesh symbolizes the knowledgeful stage. When you children create every thought and perform every action while being sensible with knowledge, you easily experience success. So Baba is today showing us how to get success in our life. The slogan of the Murli, the speciality of the Brahmin life is happiness, and so continue to donate happiness. Om Shanti. So this was everything what Baba said today in the Murli. We have to be in his remembrance. We have to give a very clear and honest chart what we are doing and what we have done, anything wrong, or followed any wrong actions. So today, after the Murli class, I was told to meet you all. This is the first time in the Kalp that I'm meeting all of you, Baba's children of Los Angeles. So once again, Om Shanti to all of you. I was just reading about the Los Angeles and I got to know that Los Angeles, which is the second most populated city, the first being New York. Generally, people don't say Los Angeles, but they say LA. I also read somewhere when I was reading about the Los Angeles, that it is said that Los Angeles is a city of angels. So today I am meeting all the Babas, lovely angels. Nice meeting you, all of you. LA is the lovely angels of Baba. I'm very lucky, very fortunate to meet you all in this cult. 5,000 years before also we had met, and today also we are again meeting each other. So today, just like what Baba said in the Murli, that you have to remember Baba, and the more we remember in a proper way, the correct way, all our sins will be absolved, and then we can return home. For this, we need concentration, proper concentration power. So today I will be talking to you something about the concentration power. We become Baba's children, leading a spiritual life. We have to have three important things in our life. This is the spiritual life. The three most important treasures of our spiritual life is the spiritual knowledge, virtues, and powers. All these three treasures, we receive it from Baba. We are receiving it in this auspicious confluence age. Baba does not do any partiality. Like he does not say that I will give some more knowledge or some more powers or virtues to this child and some less to this child. No, he doesn't do any partiality. But he gives all these treasures to all the children. It's only we children that we become number wise in taking these treasures from him. So we have to check whether in my spiritual life, how much treasures I have accumulated. Knowledge, virtues, and powers. There are so many virtues and so many powers. Baba always says that you have to be full of virtues and full of powers and knowledge full. There are different virtues like the peace, love, purity. Same way, we also talk about the power of peace, the power of love, the power of purity. All these three treasures, the knowledge, the powers, and the virtues, all these three are interrelated and interconnected. How do the knowledge become a virtue, and how do the virtue gets transformed into the powers? Just like we say knowledge is power. So how does the knowledge becomes a power? Knowledge becomes a power only when the knowledge is used in our practical life. Then it becomes our power, then it becomes a weapon for us, which will lead to our success. Same way, the knowledge, the treasure, that these three treasures of knowledge, virtues, and powers. What we have to do, there are three things to be done. Just listening the knowledge, we are not going to invite the virtues and we are not going to become powerful. But the first thing is you have to listen to the Baba's knowledge on a daily basis. Second, understand that knowledge properly, follow his Shrimad on daily basis. Whatever directions are given by him, I have to follow in my life. And the third thing is digestion of that knowledge. Only when we digest this knowledge, then it becomes power. Same way, concentration, we say that it's a virtue. But concentration as a virtue, I don't see other side, we also say power of concentration. Now, how does this virtue of concentration becomes a concentration power? Same way, like I said before, when I use this virtue of concentration in my practical day-to-day life, then it becomes power for me. And then it is said concentration power. There is a concentration power, there's also memory power, both are different. But still, there is some connection between both of them. The more we increase the concentration power in our life, the more memory power will increase. When we talk about concentration power, I generally remember my childhood days. I think so. You will also remember your childhood days when you used to go to school and do the experiment of taking a magnifying glass and taking few pieces of paper. And when we saw that when the concentrated rays of the sun were, were when we take the magnifying glass and when the concentrated rays of the sun were focused to a single point, all the paper crumbs below the magnifying glass got burned. Same way, Baba also says in today's Murli that check yourself. You should not have any muddy thoughts, because muddy thoughts or negative thoughts or waste thoughts will lead to chaos, will also lead to confusion. Constant,
Shaban,
yeah,
it's 7 o'clock meditation here, traffic control. So we can do traffic control.
yeah, okay.
Om Shanti Shanti Om Shanti Shanti अंतर मन में ज्योति जगा लो होगा दूर अंधेरा शिव का कर लो ध्यान आ रहा पावन पुण्य सवेरा तुम हो कौन कहाँ से आए अपने आप को जानो राजयोग के द्वारा अपना परम पिता पहचानो इसी राजपथ पर चल कर तुम पालो अपना बसेरा तुम हो आत्मा तन से न्यारे परमात्मा को प्यारे दिव्य गुणों को धारण करके योगी बनो दुलारे ज्योति बिंदु ही तोड़ेगा ये माया मोह का घेरा जगा लो होगा दूर अंधेरा ओम शांति ओम शांति ओम शांति
Om Shanti Rakshaban.
Shanti.
There is a question in the chat box.
Yeah.
The question is, what is your advice to Brahmins who just fully moved from devotion to knowledge?
What is the advice?
What is your advice to, Brahmins who just fully transitioned from, devotion to, from bhakti to Gyan Marg?
Okay, my advice is we have already practiced and we were walking on the path of devotion. We did so many rituals, we followed so many customs, we were fasting, we went to pilgrimages. What did we benefited? Something at least we benefited, but that was temporary and not permanent. And what we saw is the soul got degraded. We started lacking knowledge, we started lacking powers, and we also started lacking the virtues. So when Baba says that you have to be on the path of knowledge, I think so this is the right way, because when we already experienced walking on the path of devotion, it is really very sensible and it is really advisable to walk on the path of knowledge also. Because there also we will experience, we have to experience, and when Baba assures us that I will make you, I will transform you from human beings to he will make us the deities, he will make us the masters of the world. So when we experienced walking on the path of devotion, but when we did not get any success, I think so we should experience this, what Baba says. And I think so we have to have a trust on what Baba says, because he being the truth, whatever he says is truth, and we should not have any doubt on what Baba says and just become blindly. You have to fall in love with him and follow his Srimad. He will take you on the other side. He will make you the masters of the world. You should not have any doubt about his on his knowledge on what he says. Okay.
And then some are asking if you can share some of your personal experiences.
Experiences.
Yeah, your personal experiences.
Okay. Okay. Fine. I was talking about the concentration power, but since now you are telling me to share my experience about my spiritual life, I will share with you my experience. Before coming to Baba and before becoming a Baba's child, I was working with the bank, and I had an absolutely different life. Right from my childhood, I was brought up in such a way that you study, 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 and be independent. So then I studied, I did my post graduation, and then I got a bank job, and then again I passed the banking exams, the internal banking exams, and took the promotion. And I was very happy to increase, because I had a very good post and I was a second line manager. When I quit the job, I was a second line manager. I was working with the bank and I worked for about 25 years. And during this period, I had a very tough phase in between my life, around in when between 1995 and 2000. So that was a tough time for me. Some illness of my parents, and then it was really a struggling period for me. And in 2000, when I lost my mother, I was really depressed, and I thought that my life has become zero. And during that time, I got to know because one of my sister, she was staying in Tanzania, and she had a brief knowledge about the Brahma Kumaris. So she advised me to search a center of Brahma Kumari in our city in Mumbai. And when I searched it, it was just about a 5 minutes walk nearby. It was very much near my residence. So then I just went one day. I just went there and I met Divya Didi, who is our sub-zone in charge. And then I talked about all my difficulties of my life and how depressed I was feeling, very lonely when I lost my mother. So then she said, okay, you do the course. And since I was working, I did not have much time to do the course. What the timings were, the course timings were not suitable for me. But then she was very keen that I should do the course because that will help me in my life. So she kept a special time for me. She said, whatever time you are free, we will send one brother or a sister, and we'll conduct the course for you. So that way, brother became an instrument to conduct a course for me. And you'll not believe, after finishing the course and whatever the rules and regulations, whatever the Srimad Baba had given, within 8 days, I started having the sattvic food. I stopped eating onions and garlics. Of course, non-veg food I was not eating at all, but onions and garlic, it was absolutely no problem to quit. The day I was told to quit, I just quit. The day I was told, do not read newspaper, do not watch TV, I just stopped watching. So it was very easy because after completing the course, because we are having a 7 days, just a 7 days course, and I liked it so much, and then it clicked me so nicely that whatever I felt like whatever Baba is saying, I have to follow because that is giving me happiness. So I started believing fully, and I trusted him fully. And whatever he said, I started doing it. And you'll not believe, within 2 months after the completion of the course, I just told the brother who conducted course for me. I said I want to surrender my life for this institute. Just 2 months after the completion of the course. So I think so. He must be laughing inside. He must be feeling like this is so early period to take such a big decision. But then I was very firm to surrender my life because two things attracted me after I completed the course. One thing which attracted was Murli, and the second thing which attracted was the purity of the sisters, which I saw when they used to come and conduct a Murli class. So these two things attracted me so much that I could take such a big decision of my life. And when I took this decision of surrendering myself for this godly service, of course, it was my decision, but it was not a simple task to be accepted by my family. And it was a tough time for me to convince them. But later on, it was really, I tried and I was successful in convincing them, and I started staying at the center. When I started staying at the center, of course, I had not quit my job. I was doing both the things. I was staying at the center, doing this godly service, plus I was doing my job of the bank. Both the things I did, and this way I continued for about 5 years. And then again, the time came for my promotion, and since I was staying at the center, naturally, any decisions to be taken about my job, like I have to ask my elder sister, the senior sister. So I asked Divya Didi about this, whether I should take the promotion or not. And she asked me about the benefits as well as the plus and the minus points of if I take the promotion. And I told her And when I talked to her about these things, she said, don't take the promotion. So then I asked her whether I should quit the job. She was a little, she was not that firm to say yes. But then she said, okay, it all depends upon you. If you want to quit, you can quit, or if you want to continue, you can continue. But then I felt that what I am earning here is very, very much more than what I am earning in my job. So one fine day on Thursday, when the book was offered to Baba, I just gave my application of termination notice of quitting the job, and I kept it in with the book, and I said to Baba that you have to accept this application. I'm quitting the job. And immediately within 3 months, because 3 months notice we have to give. So immediately after 3 months, before completion of the 3 months, my application was accepted, and I could quit the job very easily without any flaws in my service period. So this was a very nice thing, but still staying at the center, but little bit of difficulties from my lucky family members, that is my father and my sisters, because they could not digest Rakesha to be at the center. They felt like surrendering. Then I said, I want to surrender my life for this godly service. They had a little different idea about the surrender. They thought that, okay, now Rakesha we will not be able to meet Rakesha, will not be able to talk with Rakesha. So they were worried and scared, and so they did not accept my decision. But when I talked to them, when I explained them, then they were convinced. And then I started staying at the center with much more comfortable way. And then I started, and since coming from the banking field, Baba gave me the seva of looking to the accounts department. Plus, in my Lokik life, I had a passion for photography. So here, when I came to Baba's center, I was also given the seva of photography. So I was doing this seva photography since about more than a decade. And then side by side, of course, I tried to understand this knowledge, the spiritual knowledge, Baba, plus the practice of meditation. I tried to increase this practice of meditation and started experiencing more and more. So one fine day, Divya Didi, being at that time she was a national coordinator of the transport and travel wing. So I had been with her. I was out of city with her, and one day when she was talking to Sister Kavita about so many programs coming up for the transport and travel wing, they were worried that so many programs are being coming up, but then they don't have the proper human resources or the speakers. So that time, of course, I was not delivering any such lectures of the transport wing. But that day, Baba touched me. And all of a sudden, I said to Divya Didi, see, I'm ready to deliver these lectures. Only thing is you have to train me. And then Divya Didi and Sister Kavita trained me in all this delivering the lectures and how to conduct these lectures for the transport and travel wing. And within 15 days, I did all this. I studied all the different types of lectures, and immediately Didi told me that okay, now we have got a program. You have to go to Bihar for 15 days, and immediately the program was given. And right from that day, I have been going to different states and delivering the lectures for the transport and travel wing, not only at different states, but in the city of Mumbai also. Baba is giving me the seva of these lectures on different topics for school children, for colleges, for banks, for corporates, for policies, and for every and every field. So this way, I'm doing this seva. I'm really very happy that I'm very comfortable and not a thought of repentance that why did I quit the job? So I'm really very happy to be at the center and do the Baba Seva.
So the request came was if you could continue on the concentration topic.
Yeah, sure. How much time? Can I complete by 8 o'clock?
Yes, yes, 8 o'clock. Yeah, I think
Okay,
yours
fine.
is now 7:45, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
7:47.
yeah, yeah. 8 o'clock. Yeah.
Okay, fine. So we were talking about the concentration power that Baba also says that if you have muddy thoughts or waste thoughts or negative thoughts, there's a lot of confusion and chaos in your mind, and that is not called as concentration. Concentration actually means just one single thought or one focus on one single thought or focus on one single emotion. That is called concentration, right? The concentration power generally we see that we all are lacking this concentration power, and especially this is very clearly seen in the students when they study. They are not able to concentrate in their studies. Even the parents, when they say you have to concentrate on your studies, but even the parents, they do not know what do you mean by concentration. Even if a child asks the parent, what, when you say concentrate on your studies, what actually I have to do, I think so they will not be in a position to answer them. So you have to understand what exactly means the concentration power, right? Concentration power is a skill. Concentration is a skill. It is a key to success. It is also said by one leader that the powers of the mind, they are like rays of the sun. When they are concentrated, they illumine. So we have to see whether I have this concentration power, how much concentration power do I have? When we talk about concentration power, generally we see there are two types of concentration power. One is at the physical level and another is at mental level. Just like when we perform any activity like cutting of the fruits or cutting of the vegetables, holding a knife in our hand, if we don't have that stability in our hand, then we may come across some accidents. So this is the physical stability or the physical concentration. Whereas there are certain activities which we are performing in our day-to-day life where we require the mental concentration. Just like to say in a game of a chess, when the players they play the chess, they have to fully concentrate on each and every move of the chess piece. That is called as a mental concentration. Generally, when we talk about the concentration power, we see that concentration power is required in each and every activity. But once you get practice, once you practice and once you do a lot of practice in any particular activity, then even if you have the less concentration while performing that action, you will lead to success and you will not fail. Just like in case of a driving, when a person learns to drive, at the initial period when he drives, he gets disturbed even when a phone call comes, or even if a person, somebody sitting in his or her vehicle talks to him, he gets disturbed. But when he gets lot of practice, when he practices lot of driving, then he's so comfortable in driving that he can do the multitasking also. Even while driving, he can have some snacks. Even while driving, he can take the phone calls, he can send the messages, he can see the sights, sceneries, everything he can do. So he can do the multitasking. So concentration power is required in each and every activity or the action which we perform. But once we have lot of practice, then less concentration is also okay. Same way, Baba also says that you have to have the practice in meditation. If you say that, okay, at the end, I will remember him, but that will not lead to success. So we have to have practice regularly on a daily basis for meditation. Secondly, once we also see different definitions of concentration power, they are defined in a different way. But we, being coming from the spiritual life, how do we define concentration power in spirituality? Concentration power can be defined in spirituality as when the mind and the intellect, they work together at the same level, then it is called as concentration. Like creating a thought in the mind, then it projects it on the screen of the mind, then the intellect visualizes it, understands it, and then the mind starts feeling that thought. So there are three things which are included in this process of concentration. One is the creation of the thought. Second is visualization of the thought. And the third is feeling of the thought. So when these three things which are being done by the mind and the intellect, when they work together at the same level, then that is called as concentration power. So we will be checking in the meditation and we will check ourselves whether our mind and intellect are working together or not. How do we increase this concentration power? There are many different ways of increasing the concentration power. We will try to go from the physical things to the subtle things. Like one way of increasing the concentration power is avoid multitasking. Second, you have to take the breaks. When you perform any actions, then or when you're working on some task, then take little breaks and then go for a brisk walk or then you deep breathly. So then you again recharge yourself. So again, when you come back to your work, your concentration will increase. Third way of increasing this concentration power is conquer procrastination. Procrastinations means delaying the things. And conquer procrastination means I should not have this bad habit of delaying the things. This will increase my concentration power. Also, having a proper diet and sleep will increase my concentration power. Baba also says to have the sattvic food and proper sleep. Baba also says sleep before 10 o'clock, get up early in the morning. So early to rise, early to bed. Papa says this is a good habit. So we have to check ourselves. If I want to increase my concentration power, then I have to follow these things. Other way of increasing the concentration power is having or performing exercises on a daily basis. Exercise does not mean only the physical exercise, but even the mental exercise. Mental exercise, again, they are of different varieties we can do it. Like whatever contacts you have, contact numbers you have in your mobile, try to remember the numbers of your relatives and friends. So that will be a mental exercise. So this way you can increase the concentration power. Other way of increasing the concentration power is like fixation of the priorities. There are too many tasks and too many tasks are to be done. Generally, we get confused which is to be done first. So you have to fix the priorities. What is to be done first and what is to be done later. When you fix up the priority, then you can concentrate on your work. This way, there are various types of increasing our concentration power. One subtle thing, two subtle things I would like to share with you how to increase the concentration power is one is observing your thoughts. We observe all the external things in the external world, but we have to have the practice of observing our own thoughts. Like in today's Murli Date, also Baba said, have a spiritual conversation with you. Same way, you have to observe the thoughts. When we have this practice of observing our own thoughts, or the other way to increase is controlling of our own thoughts. You have to check whether I can control my thoughts. Whatever thoughts I want to create at a particular time, whatever thoughts I want to stop at a particular time, whether I'm able to do it or not. If I practice these things, then I can increase my concentration power. So there are different ways of increasing the concentration power. You can adopt any method. The only thing is we have to see that I need to have a proper concentration so that when I sit in meditation, then I remember just the one and the only one, Shiv Baba. Okay, so this is the way we can increase the concentration power. Earlier, I was talking to you about the lost angels and the angels. Baba also says you have to become from a Brahmin, you will be becoming angels, and from angels, you will be becoming a deity. So today, also in the United Yuga Bhatti, the Baba's drill was you are an elevated Brahmin soul. So whether you can visualize this, whether you can feel it. So as a Brahmin, we can visualize it very clearly, and it is very easy to visualize and feel ourselves as a Brahmin. But still, when Baba says that you have to be an angel also, and then from angel you will be becoming a deity. So I'll give you some parameters how to feel and how to visualize yourself as an angel. You being the lovely angels residing in LA, that is Los Angeles. I'll be just giving you, you can note down also the points or the parameters of the angel. First thing, who is an angel? Angel is a human being who is in love with God alone, no other human being. Second, angel is a person who lives with principles. Third thing, angel is a friend whose eyes offer solutions always. Fourth, angel is a guest who always comes with the gifts. Fifth, angel is a protector. Whoever comes close to the angel, they feel very safe. Sixth, angel is a mirror that reflects the truth. And seventh, angel is a child and an ancestor. Child is pure and innocence. And as an ancestor, they have experience and they have secrets. So check yourself when we have to visualize ourselves and feel ourselves as an angel. We have to know what exactly an angel means. So you can check with these parameters and check yourself whether I am becoming an angel, to what percent I have become an angel. Another thing, how does the face of an angel look like? Cool, calm, clear, refreshing, no lies inside. Third, the heart of an angel. How is the heart of an angel? Heart of an angel is it never hurts. Second, it always says yes, you can do it. And the third thing is it always gives to the world and takes from God. How is the mind of an angel? Mind of an angel is the mind is very innocent, always appeals to all the young and the old. The mind of an angel is always a place of rest. And the last thing is the intellect of an angel. How is the intellect of an angel? The intellect of an angel is vast, simple, pure, perfect, deep, and lovely. So on these parameters, we can check ourselves to what percent we have become angels. So let us do some small exercise, some small meditation for 5 minutes, because Baba said that Brahmins will become the angels and angels will become deities. So let us sit in silence, sit straight, and visualize yourself as a Brahmin soul in this confluence age. I am a Brahmin. I am Baba's child. Baba is my father. Baba is giving me Srimad for all my actions which I have to perform right from the morning to night. I fully trust Baba. He is my companion. I am always under his canopy. Check yourself whether your mind and intellect is working at the same level. We, the Brahmins, Baba is making us the angels. Check all the parameters of the angels. See yourself as an angel. Check your face, your heart, your mind, your intellect. See yourself as an angel in this subtle region, sitting in front of Brahma Baba, who has become an angel, who is the father of all angels. Take powers from him. Of Shanti. So, did you check your concentration power? Whether your mind and intellect were working together? We created them some thoughts, but whether the visualization process and the feeling process, whether we could do it or not, we can check ourselves how much concentration power I have and how do I increase it to have a successful life. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Thank you, Rakesha Ben. So everyone can turn on your video now,
Yeah,
and Rakesha Ben can see, and all of you can wave at her.
yeah.
Rakesha Ben, can you see everyone?
No, not yet.
You'll have to go to gallery view on your end so you can see everyone.
Okay. Yeah, hello, 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 everybody. Nice meeting you all. Nice meeting you all. You really look like angels. Very
So
nice.
always can say Om Shanti to Rakesha Ben.
Om Shanti, everybody, and thank you so much.
No.
Thank you.
Om
Thank you.
Shanti.
Om Shanti.
Okay.
Om Shanti. Should Sangeeta Ben sit right now?
Yes, it's yeah, yeah, it's her.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
she's here.
Thank you so much. Yeah, she's here only. I'll just move and she will sit on the same
Acha.
seat.
Okay, and then I'll play a song, and then we can
Yeah.
meditate
After
together.
she sits, you
Okay.
just play a song.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so
Om
much.
Shanti.